folks. Welcome to another episode of Two Geek Girls, and also another episode of Itty Loves You.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody who's here. Thank you so much for everybody who's going to come here later. Sorry, I'm having. I think the dogs miss me a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. As much as they love Lyssa. Say hi.
They were doing that to me all week.
Yeah,
literally all week.
Itty's figured out that she can get all the attention she wants if she just asks.
Like there is videographic evidence of me on stream with the dogs being like, all right, it's puppy roulette.
So here's one, here's two. Okay, what?
I was like, all right. And even Pee-wee made his way up the stairs to that office room.
Aw, happy Pee-wee. How is everyone else doing there? Yeah. Oh, here's Itty Bitty. Okay, over here. How is everyone doing? It was a full eventful week, I'm sure. 2 weeks since I was I was in Vegas for a Star Trek convention while Lyssa was helping here at the house. And it was Vegas. It was a Star Trek convention in Vegas. It was great, actually, considering not as many people could attend this time as obviously in years past. Mm-hmm. But God, that was a lot of love. That was a lot of, despite a few things trying to make it difficult, they didn't, and everything went well. And basically doing the same thing as they announced for Dragon Con this year. You have to have your vaccine card, or you have to do a test. And I think it's a test that's come up negative
72 hours in advance.
And that's the same thing.
Dragon Con.
And that's what it was in Vegas. It had to be a test no older than 72 hours, or you have your vaccination card. And they would do the test. They had areas to do the test, the rapid testing right there on site. Or you could go down to your local CVS or Walgreens and buy a test, and it has 2 tests in it, just like the pregnancy test. And just a few minutes, you'll know. So there are a few eventful things happening on the Dragon Con chat rooms and forums and Facebook pages, but for the most part, people seem very amenable, as they did, Star Trek. So it was good, and it was still Vegas. And whoops. Okay, my seat.
Yes, some areas are talking about booster shots now too. I kind of figured that was going to be the case because like very much like the flu, in regards to that, you got to get a new flu shot every season.
Oh, Stephen, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you have a swift and comfortable recovery.
Oh yeah, Esri just does that. This is her spot. She has taken over my laundry baskets.
Yes. Laundry is the best, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to run downstairs real quick and grab when is Dragon Con anyway? It's generally the rule
Labor
of thumb.
Day weekend.
It is the Labor Day weekend. Even if it's a couple days before or after, anywhere around September 3rd. I don't have the exact date. I plan for that whole week because it's basically a whole week.
Yeah, it pretty much is at this point.
It's not a weekend convention. It just goes on for a whole week. It gets longer every week. I'm just curious what's going to be. I'm going to have Lyssa pull that. I'm going to go get my computer real quick. I'm going to be right back.
So Dragon Con this year starts on September 2nd and ends Monday, September 6th. So Thursday to Monday that. And of course, there's like the what do they call them? The pre-con events that people hold at bars and stuff. Crysstal heads downstairs, Sadie takes over the stream. No, that's actually Mama behind where she was. Water, guys. It's important. Drink your water. Hydrate. Hydration is good.
Yeah. Alec tends to forget to do that, especially when he's partying with his peeps. And it was eventful. We had a lot of things there's what's happening at the convention, and Alec was working his butt off on the floor. I would relieve him around lunchtime. And then there's everybody that you're just trying to hang out with after, which was awesome.
I'm gonna feel that at Gen Con. Like, so, dude,
it never fails.
I've got at least one party for sure that I'm going to, if not 2 or 3. Like, I've already got an invite to the Gooey Cube party on Friday night.
Oh, it's all about the party. It's not the Dragon Con itself isn't like a full running party. Like, I need to get my liver checked again.
Well, like, it's a business party. You know, this is a wheel and deal. Hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
but it's still a party.
It's still a party like that, and that's how all the parties are here. There's certainly people that you haven't talked to in a little while, where we're catching up. And it's people that you're like, hey, we should really get to know each other. You're going to be at this party on that night, like, yeah. Everything dissolves from business to chaos, and I did not do very well when I ran the stream because I came into it midstream, and I'm always floundering midstream. But I tried. I think Rob owned the live streams. For sure. Rob, who's one of the actors for Axanar, he was very, very kind to come down to Star Trek Las Vegas. He's got some family in Nevada, and that made things very easy. And Rob Hayes was wonderful, actually. Yes. And very, very excited for his future participation. Not surprised at all that he's been written into a much bigger role for Axanar. And then we have Donnie Maripos, who I never say that as well as Alec does, but he'll be joining as well. He was very, very kind to come to Vegas as well and join us and help promote and talk about Axanar and his upcoming role. And then he was kind enough to announce that he's going to be in my Supergirl fan film.
Ooh.
As Lex Luthor. Yeah. So we have Lex Luthor. We have a Mercy. We're also going to announce her in a few days. And then we have a very, very special character who's going to be filmed for what is basically the prologue, which would be the video that'll be used for the campaign when we launch it. And that's a very, very, it's a lot of people's favorite Batman in the fan film world. But he's a lot of other things as well. And we'll talk about that later. But he's technically not. He's playing something he's never played before for us. But we'll talk about that later. We're very excited and not quite ready to announce that. But as you know, in the fan film community, we have a lot of amazing actors. They're also very seasoned actors. They're not just fan film actors. And we found that we have a veritable smorgasbord of people available who are very knowledgeable in how fan film works. And they're, of course, veterans in the film industry altogether. So it's been wonderful. Hey. So that's it. All the way to season 27. Yeah, I don't know about that. I have like a 10-story arc, but we're just starting with like episode 1 for right now.
Yeah.
We'll go from there. Yeah.
That's entirely valid.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. We'll work from that. Let's see. Other than that, Lyssa, how's your week been?
It's been good. Sleepy, but good. We got our Rupture Kickstarter pre-launch page up, which, by the way, guys, you should go follow that for me. We're trying to hit 100 follows on that by the end of the day. So, do me a favor. Please go follow.
There we go.
So we had our dev demo group playing last night, right? So it's a good portion of us from the dev team. And we're all playing these characters. And first off, we are literally pros now, technically, if you want to think about it.
Okay.
Since this is what we're doing professionally. And that kind of, I had to take a moment. I'm like, I am literally a professional nerd. That is what I do.
Aspirations and goals achieved.
But so the first episode that we did for the demo, one of the characters is not exactly in his right mind, and he had asked our host for an elephant, and we got our elephant. That wasn't an elephant. It actually turned out to be a horse. Okay. So the episode name when we put it on YouTube is going to be named the horse formerly known as Elephant.
This works. This works.
And since it is a horse now, we've named the horse Elephant.
Not the weirdest name a horse has ever had. I once had a horse named Beef.
Fair.
And when I say I mean it was a horse that I got to ride, but it was my aunt's horse. And he
why was it named Beef?
I don't with the name. He was amazing. He was this what we call like a low rider quarter horse. Because they're kind of remind you of staffy pit bulls.
Okay.
They're very muscular, they're very chesty.
Probably because he was beefy then.
He was very beefy. No. And so his show name was Where's the Beef? And yeah, he was very beefy. He was very muscular. He was actually really great over fences. A lot of people know quarter horses actually make really good jumpers. Yeah. And there was a girl that I rode with named Katie Quinley. And the two of them were just kind of unbeatable in their classes. He was great, but it kind of looked like his legs looked like they might be a little too short for his big, stout, beefy body. But actually, he made it work. Anyway, not the weirdest name I've ever heard for a horse. Not by a long shot.
But we now have a horse named Elephant.
Elephant. The elephant in the room.
Yes. it literally was for a secend. It was funny because we ended up having like all the smaller characters. So like my character, our hillfolk, and our gnome riding the elephant around the room. Like we jokingly had said that we were gonna do elephant rides for these characters, and then our druid, our Sinnoh druid, had like treats and was like guiding the elephant around the room, and I was like, yes, we do get elephant rides. Hi,
Alec. Hey, Alec. So I saw was it Olive? About the parade, it looks, I'm sorry, say it again.
Olive.
I think it is Olive. I'm just trying, like, don't read the name, just let Lyssa say it. There you go. And it looks like you can't go to the parade unless you are a badge holder. Like they've cut everything down. So it used to be, I would tell people, like, you can just go to the parade, it's public, or you can just get a day pass. And it looks like I don't think there are day passes.
I don't think they're doing day passes.
They're not doing day passes. You can't buy anything on site. You can pick up your badge, but it has to be one that you've already had for 2 years. Apparently, I think that's the only thing available. Now hotel rooms are coming up because people are dropping out because they don't believe in the mask mandates. So people are canceling. People who have figured out they couldn't come because they're either international or they realized they couldn't travel, even nationally, had canceled. So if you stay on the websites, you can see hotel rooms popping up at the Hyatt and the Hilton and everywhere else. Yep. But yeah, unless you're a badge holder, you can't attend the parade. No more day passes. And obviously it's going to be much smaller attendance than it's been at least for the past 5 years or so.
Yeah. No, one of my friends, she's on Stormcrest with me. So she plays Pale. She's in Germany, and she had won the DragonCon lottery and had actually gotten a host hotel room. Okay. And because she's in Germany, she can't fucking come because the borders are closed.
Yep.
So she was very upset by that.
Yeah. No,
she and her husband were looking forward to that.
Yeah. Germany's not letting anyone go see the Americans. I just want to make that clear.
Yep.
And Denmark just called us underdeveloped.
Oh yeah, I shared that on Facebook. Let's be honest. The shade is real. Shots fired.
Wow, right across the bow. And most of us aren't even arguing.
Yeah. No, it's like I can't disagree.
No.
As someone who lives in this country, no, our healthcare system is fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Help. Let's see. Oh, Lyssa, did you get a chance to see Suicide Squad?
Not yet.
I
need to actually move my Xbox into the living room and sit down with my opa.
Yeah.
For us to watch it, because he doesn't have HBO. He does not have HBO Max. but I think Josh still has it. So if that's the case, I'm still logged in on his HBO Max account on my Xbox. So I can just bring the Xbox in the living room. We change the channel to the Xbox One and watch it on that.
Yes. I think we've been using Plex, but you're not supposed to. But Plex. It's basically the upgrade from what we used to call Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh shit! I knocked over Vegeta.
Just as you turn this poor Vegeta. It's all right. He can take it. He can take it. Did anyone else get a chance to see Suicide Squad? Although the talk, of course, the last couple of days has been Eternals with the new Eternals.
Super Saiyan God Vegeta.
All good.
Or Super Saiyan Blue, technically.
Yes. Yes, and that's okay.
It depends on what translation that you're looking at. Listening
it's not
to.
something the kid does the cat not ever knock your stuff down.
Oh, the cat does all the time. All the fucking time.
It's cat. I love the videos where the cat's just looking at the owner like, what, don't do this?
Oh, yeah. No, like, she got in. So I've got, like, Ritz chips, right? And they're sour cream and onion, which is not good for cats. Because, you know, onion can make dogs and cats anemic.
Okay.
And this little shit, last night, I went to, you know, actually get in bed and everything. Come to find out, she had taken like 5 or 6 of the Ritz chips and just had them on the floor in front of my door. And I'm like, no.
Yes.
The audacity of this cat. The audacity of this cat.
It's a cat. Actually, that brings me to a question I had. So walking around, there's 2 things that I saw a lot more of than I expected, even at a Star Trek convention. One of them was a lot of Lower Decks cosplay. A lot of Lower Decks, like huge fans, huge following.
Okay, I need to trim her back nails again.
The Lower Decks costumes, some were handmade, some had been purchased, and people coming as couples. That was like the big one. Everybody had their Lower Decks. So it definitely has a hardcore following, and they definitely are classic Trekkies. So and it was interesting for me to hear that meta answer to the fact that you have to consider Lower Decks as if it is a show that people. Alec just came home.
Oh, I'm not surprised at the audacity. I'm just pointing out the audacity. There's a difference.
Go. There you go. You have to consider it a show that people who exist in the Star Trek universe, the canon universe, watch the show. Mm-hmm. That's how people think of it. So it's not that Lower Decks is canon, it's that the canon universe watches Lower Decks. So you are sharing the experience of the cartoon with the characters.
I mean, that would make sense. Yeah. Like, just because it's like the, you know, like whatever century, like depending on what area of Star Trek, or what time in Star Trek it is, like animation would still be a thing. Yes.
I mean, obviously it would, especially something that, you know, a lot of people could relate to at the time. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, an answer to the Eternal. They showed a Celestial, not Galactus. It's a Celestial. They wanted to make that clear. It's Arishem the Judge is the Celestial that they showed. I had to look that up because everyone's like, Galactus. No, it's not Galactus. I had to look that up. It wasn't him. We could see why they would think that, but
yeah.
But yes, and it's a very exciting trailer. I am very excited for the Eternals. Part of it because they've really earned my trust. The Marvel Studio really has when it comes even with things that we thought would be maybe too complicated or that they would turn into some sketchy borderline B movie. Because comic book movies and studios don't really always know how to handle that, but Marvel has certainly earned our trust when it comes to that. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm even more excited after seeing, there we go, the the new trailer, but yes, they showed a Celestial. Now we've seen the corpse of a Celestial before in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah,
where they're mining everything out of the head and what's left of the Celestial. So we've been introduced to a Celestial before we saw it, but now we actually have a being. And then the Eternals, the movie is being basically likened to this 7,000 year, trip with the Eternals that we share Earth with.
Isn't the Grand Master also a Celestial? If I remember correctly.
He's either Celestial or descendant from it. Somebody out there is going to know. I'm trying to make sure I'm not confusing him with the Thanos storylines. Of Thanos is not a Celestial, but he descends from, or he's related to them. So that's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Yes, Big G. Can people make us identifying Big G and a Celestial? He's an Elder, which would kind of be the same tier level as Thanos or one below Thanos. Because there's tiers of these beings. So it's So there's that. Oh, the other question I had as we were talking about Ezri and your kitty. Star Trek and cats is a thing. And yeah. I there were lots of dogs there. Rio is now dog friendly. There were dogs walking, people had brought their dogs with them to Vegas. The Rio Hotel is dog friendly. Even if it's not a service animal, you had service animals there, and then you had people that just had their pets with them. And I didn't see anybody with a cat on a leash. However, I could not swing a dead cat without hitting somebody wearing a t-shirt that is a Star Trek cat shirt.
Yeah.
Or dress or purse, or I don't know. I don't know when this started, but liking, cat people to Star Trek people, I guess. I don't know. But it was a whole thing. And I didn't see one dog Star Trek shirt. I'm sure they're out there, but I didn't see one.
Okay, so Grandmaster is an Elder. The Elders are the last survivors of their respective species, most of which evolved right after the Big Bang, the cataclysmic event in which the universe was created. Their respective species were the earliest creations of the Celestials.
Okay.
So basically, he's the child of Celestials.
And so maybe him and Thanos are on the same tier, because that's basically how I hear Thanos described. Okay. See?
Yeah. I was like, I can't remember if he's a Celestial, if he's something slightly different, but on that tier.
Yeah.
Or damn near close.
Damn near close. He is close. Although hard to say what his powers are, aside from just living a really, really long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeff Goldblum forever.
Yes. Jeff Goldblum.
Forever. He doesn't need any powers. We literally didn't care that he didn't have any powers.
Well, I'm sure he actually does have some powers.
I'm sure he does.
We didn't need to see them. It's just it's Jeff Goldblum.
It was Jeff Goldblum.
Show me Jeff Goldblum as an eccentric character,
and I won't question nothing.
That's all we need. We don't need to know if he has powers or not yet. We don't give a shit. It's Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. It's gold. It is gold. I really want to know how they got Jeff. I want to know the story of it. I want to know, because I've seen the interviews and everything with him. And hats off to Taika.
I was gonna say, probably. I think Taika Waititi just was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And he was like, "It's fucking Marvel, and you're God."
But I want to know who immediately thought Grandmaster and went to Jeff Goldblum. I want to know. This is why we need a whole category for just casting directors and casting people. The one category we don't have.
Let's see. No, that's something saying Jeff Goldblum describes the creative ecstasy of working on Thor. He was apparently starstruck by Thor Ragnarok co-star.
Okay, Thanos is of the Eternal, so he's an Eternal, not an Elder. That tier level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes sense.
Jeff Goldblum improvised many of his Thor Ragnarok scenes. I'm not surprised.
We did no. That's yes. Just
It's
be the
fucking
Grandmaster. Just be yourself. Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's all good. Okay, we need you to tell them to go get Hulk, and so Jeff Goldblum just did what he did. Yeah, and Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, apparently Goldblum dropped out for a short period.
See, these are the stories I want to know. These are the things I want to know.
While writing the film, Pearson knew that there were a few directions the script could take the Grandmaster in the movie, and it wasn't until Goldblum's name was being kicked around that he decided how to write the Elder of the Universe. It's like, oh, yes. Yeah, clearly this is who we need.
Yes.
So many different ways you can go with that character. Pearson said he could be a power-hungry monster, or he's cool and vindictive. And they're like, we're going with Jeff Goldblum. And I'm like, got it.
No questions. All set. Yes. No explanation needed. 100%. Was it? Yes. Oh, and of course, the other thing that we kept seeing were the Star Trek variants of the Marvel Universe at the Star Trek convention.
And they almost lost him because his name was also being kicked around for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's the reasoning. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Since he's been associated with that franchise for 28 years.
Has he appeared in every Jurassic Park movie in some way?
No.
So he didn't do Fallen Kingdom, right?
No. So let's see.
He did one. He did 3.
No, 2.
He did 2.
Not do
so he
3.
did 1 and he did 2.
Alan
and then he
was
did
the one
Jurassic
in 3.
World. Huh?
I said Alan was the one in 3.
Alan was 1 in 3. And then he did Jurassic World. So he's been in 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Obliterator. Let there be carnage. Kitties versus the Borg. Forget the Borg. Laser dots on our 6. That's cute.
Yeah, so he was in Fallen Kingdom. I'm trying to see if there's any more Jurassic Park movies that he's set for Domination, for Jurassic World Domination. He's actually voicing Ian Malcolm in Jurassic World Evolution 2, the video game.
Okay.
He did the voice of Malcolm in Jurassic World Aftermath, which is also a video game.
Okay.
Also did Jurassic World Evolution video game. Jurassic World. He did. Okay, so yeah, that's Fallen Kingdom. There's Thor Ragnarok. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Trying to see if there's any other besides those 2. Because I feel like... okay, so he also... So he's been voicing Ian Malcolm in the video games for a while.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. Because Lost World Jurassic Park video game... Jurassic Park Chaos Island, Lost World Jurassic Park. That's on there twice. Maybe there's 2. Okay, that looks like there's two versions of the video game, maybe. But yeah, he's been voicing the character off and on in video games as well.
That makes sense. A lot of actors, people, unless you're following the games or you're following like an animated series or something, there's a lot of actors now we don't realize doing a lot of work until you talk to them. Hi, Alec.
Hello.
Well, there's a lot of actors that just their pay grade is too high for the video games to fucking pay.
And that, yeah. And then there's ones that do it like all the time. And they realize they make the name. I mean, you started with the Arkham series, and it had to be Mark Hamill, like whatever, whatever he wants. Let's spread.
Mark Hamill pretty much stepped away from acting for 20 years. Like
on screen. Yeah. It was very, very few and far between.
He mostly did voice acting for the longest time.
Until we saw him come back. I mean, the first couple of times I saw him come back were for Big Bang Theory, and then as the trickster.
Okay, but those are cameos, really. I wouldn't.
Well, no, as the trickster when he came back. Yeah, so appearing on Big Bang Theory as that version of himself, the classic, you know, actor within the show version, and then coming back as the trickster again. Which had like, hi, you're gonna knock over my computer. Thank you.
Yeah, like technically, even like in The Mandalorian, he wasn't that body actor. That wasn't him. He voiced the character, but
yeah, he was just on set for like 2 of the shots.
Yeah. Oh, shit, dropping things.
Yeah. Everyone is all about the cats right now, which is totally legit. If we
I'm
were
okay with
to have
that.
a mascot on the Jewish Space Laser, it would be a cat.
Esri, do you want to be the
Casting
mascot
call.
for Two Geek Girls?
Casting call.
You want to be our mascot, kitten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just want to point out that every time I've gotten a criticism about, I can't believe you're doing a show, or I can't believe you're trying to do a skit about the Jewish Space Laser, and I'm like, did you watch the video? Did you watch it? Did you try and like, no, I won't even watch that. And I'm like, okay, then your opinion really isn't valid.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Fire! Sorry. But yeah, he came back for he did do What We Do in the Shadows last year.
Taika? Or Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Yes. No. Go get it yourself.
I love that he did that one episode. I was dying from
it
laughter.
was the best. That was awesome. But that's
he played the ultimate petty vampire that was like, you didn't pay me rent like 100 years ago.
Yes, that guy. Like
that's all. And his name was just Jim the vampire.
Jim. Somebody said that in the writer's room and just went with it. We're gonna name him Jim. Hey Mark, we want you to come on and play a vampire. Cool. What's his name? Jim. Okay.
You know, Mark would have totally like that's all they would have had to say. His name's Jim.
It's like, I'm in. Not a problem.
Yeah.
I've not seen the latest episode. Stop.
And despite the fact that so 2019, he did the voice of Chucky in Child's Play.
Yes, I remember that.
I tried to watch part of it, and I love his voice acting, but he's not the voice.
He's not Chucky.
Sorry. He's not Chucky.
Lots and lots and lots of things, but yeah.
He is not what is the character the actual actor's name?
Let's see. That's no hairball, that's a tribble.
That's right.
I love it.
What is the actor's name? He Brad Dourif.
Okay. Yep.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Mark Hamill to death. He's amazing in everything he does. But Brad is Chucky.
It's ingrained in us. Like, we can't remember a time in our lives when there wasn't a Chucky, and that laugh, and that yeah. So it's yeah.
Like, he does a really good impression of Chucky.
Of course.
But it's not Chucky.
You know that's making sound.
Mm-hmm. That's how she be.
That's how she be. I always feel like certain barks of hers are like cuss words.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like, bitch! And I'm like, don't you call me that. Get yourself. Yeah, no.
I like this idea for the Jewish space laser cat. Has to be kept from walking all over the consoles.
That is the cat's fault. It was the cat's fault.
Why are the mountains on fire?
The cat started the fires. Because if anyone was going to start a fire, it was going to be a cat.
That's right.
By accident. Bad kitty. Bad kitty.
I was thinking more that Space Laser Command uses their space lasers mostly to lure kitty cats away from trouble.
That was the point all along. It was just supposed to be a laser. It's just supposed to point stuff out. That's it.
And this right here is the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Oh, oops. Well, we made the Grand Canyon just a little bit deeper.
But so we keep going back and forth on like there's what if we have okay, so there are places. Stop it. So when United States went to the moon, we put down these panels on the moon, on the side of the moon, and there are places that you can go to with lasers, and it's basically just a light laser, so that you can get that ping back when you're lined up with it, where you are on Earth is lined up with that particular spot, wherever the flag and everything else is on the moon. You can point the laser and it'll ping back, and you're like, oh, there it is. It's just a little thing that they've set up so that you can verify that that's what you're looking at if you're looking through the telescope and everything else. So that's a purpose for a good long range laser. This is how good lasers are now. And there's just a light laser. It's not doing anything. It's literally just pinging light off of something.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, the lasers you can't see, but they just like burn through stuff. They're weaponized to a whole nother level, right? So we're always trying to bat around
between
ideas.
A laser and oh shit. There's two different types. They've technically got two different names.
Right. It's two totally different things. So we're always trying to bat around with what people confuse one thing with the other. Like we're literally just pointing at stuff, or we're just using stuff to pinpoint or, communicate, see stuff. Like there's two different types. So these are the jokes, folks. These are the things that we're going through. And I've had to learn a lot about lasers with this. But obviously the joke is it's kind of like the show about nothing, because there couldn't possibly be a Jewish space laser station. So there you go. Blah, blah, blah. Pick me up. No, she wants me to throw the ball.
That sounds about right.
And some more news dropped about the Interview with the Vampire series for AMC.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, this is me as like a huge Anne Rice fan when I was a kid. This is also me this is also me as an adult going, Joelle, with a lot of the books, a lot of the things.
Have we not canceled her yet?
Well, and it's tricky with authors because you are dealing with them being part of an entire ecosystem that accepted a lot of things. 30, let's see, was it late 70s Interview with the Vampire was published?
Yeah.
So there are things that are kind of universal about the stories, which are totally fine. That's not going to change. And then there are very specific points and very specific areas, like, don't read Gone with the Wind without understanding when it was written and by who.
Yeah.
Like, so again, authorship is a little bit weird when it gets into that. And there's a lot of good. They're obviously LGBTQ friendly when some people weren't. A lot of people weren't. Obviously very forward thinking when it came to medical stuff. But she was a very different author when she started than authors that would get published today, and is a very different author the last several books that she wrote.
Yep.
Compared to the first one. So if you're just talking about the bare bones, like the blueprints of a particular story and bringing to life the things about the characters that can age well, that's totally fine. There's a way to adapt, and it's Breaking Bad's Mark Johnson who's doing it.
Okay. There's the potential there. I'm still iffy about Anne Rice getting all that money, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's royalty rights in regards to it.
Yes. But as of summer and, or later, I think the last of it was like a couple days ago, like a week ago, they were still coming out with information about it. And remember, it's a lot of her son now, as opposed to her.
Yeah.
She's not young anymore. She's not a lot of things anymore. I don't want to speculate, but her son really has the reins on it at this point.
Well, and that happened with Anne McCaffrey to a degree too.
Yes. Yeah. At the same time, it's, not fair to not pay somebody for something that was their life's labor.
Mm-hmm. So Anne Rice is 79.
Yeah, that'd be right. Let's see. Anne Rice stuff. Other things aside, people would have. It's kind of like candy. Again, there were very particular books of hers that were just better than others. It's just she's not a consistent author. Her storytelling wasn't consistent. Plot holes you could drive a truck through. Obviously, Belinda will never get turned into anything ever, and for good reason. But yeah. Whereas I'm trying to remember. I think Cry to Heaven actually had some. Was if you were to take a writing class, they would give you Cry to Heaven because beginning to end, it was like perfectly written. I'm not saying all the content was great, but like just the way you would teach somebody to write.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, somebody went to writing class and got it there. Cry to Heaven was the one about the castrati.
Okay.
So there was that one. It was actually turned into a musical at one point. And I have one of the last remaining studio recordings of it.
Oh, nice.
On tape. So I'm being very careful with it and keep it out of the sun. We'll probably take it to a professional. I'm scared. I got to take it to a professional, actually get it digitized at some point because I may have one of the only copies left.
You should probably get that digitized.
I also have the uncorrected proof. I have one of the uncorrected proofs of the Vampire Lestat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is different than what was published, by the way. Mm-hmm. And the person that it was sent to, who was supposed to be like, so they sent the uncorrected proofs out to reviewers early on. And even with the understanding that this is not going to be the end publication, it hasn't been published yet, there could still be edits, blah, blah, blah. And the guy, was reading it. He did all of these notes in like Sharpie all over it until he got halfway through. And halfway through, he started writing his own story and using the paper as notes.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's still an uncorrected proof of the Vampire Lestat. I think there are a couple uncorrected proofs of the Queen of the Damned still out there somewhere. Obviously, I don't think there's anything of Interview with the Vampire left, at least not for public consumption. But yeah, no, I was a big fan. But as I got older and as the books continued to progress, there were things I was like, no.
She got really into her religion, and then
out of it, and then into it. And then out of it.
She had this really weird progression. And I'm wondering if somewhere along the line because like it's not uncommon for people who go to things like AA or any of those addiction things to like be told, hey, like seek God. And I'm wondering if that's what happened.
Right.
But you can tell when those periods are based on how heavily inserted the Christian imagery is.
Beyond Christian, Catholic.
Yeah, specifically Catholic. That,
very, very Catholic. So, and then she's gone back and she said that whatever, and she's made it, she's created an apocrypha. These books are no longer considered canon, or she has an explanation. She actually answered, as Lestat answered a fan's question about what was with Memnoch the Devil. What's up? And he's like, oh, I think I was just drugged by a demon. Don't worry about it. Literally. Gone.
What? So he didn't exchange bodies with Memnoch?
No.
No,
that was Tale of the Body Thief. That was the other one.
Oh,
So
excuse me.
Memnoch the Devil was supposed to be actually the devil taking him through hell. And
oh, that's right. My bad.
Yeah. So they've stricken that from the record. She basically said, oh yeah, no, I was just a big acid trip. Don't worry about it.
You know,
basically.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This was stat.
So we remember the controversy around Tom Cruise's casting. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. And of course,
agree.
The biggest voice against it was, of course, Anne Rice at the time, until she saw it. And I'm going to give Tom Cruise props on this. I don't like Tom Cruise's Lestat. I think a lot of people don't. For all of its issues, because obviously they combined two of the books. Stuart Townsend was the superior Lestat. He could have been so when they made Queen of the Damned, it was Warner Brothers about to lose the rights if they didn't make something. Yeah. Basically the same thing that happened with the first Fantastic Four. If you don't make something, then you don't get to keep it. Anne Rice gets everything back. So they gave it to Korn. What is his name? The I'll look at the discography. They gave it to him to do, and she urged them not to do it. Don't do it. It's not even going to be worth it. It's not this. And so, but a lot of people prefer Stuart Townsend. It was kind of, for me, just a weird music video. That's exactly how it was shot. That's exactly how it felt. Yeah. There you go. So the screenplay was by Scott Abbott and Michael Petroni, apparently. Okay. Honestly, I don't disagree. They did definitely film it like it was like an extended music video. Yeah. But that's kind of its charm. I remember being very excited for it when it came out. But again, this is like my love of the characters. There's a lot of things I was very excited for. And this was kind of a resurgence for her. She had her coma in 1998. Mm-hmm. And so by the time Queen of the Damned was being made, it had only been a couple years after that. Yeah, because Queen of the Damned was early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah. What year does this say? But yes, yeah. But that's latest news is still coming out about that. They're still developing it. And we'll just 2002. It came out in 2002. Okay, yeah. That would be when I was going to school in New York. But I watched Queen of the Damned before I read the book. And that's one of the things that actually got me into Anne Rice. Sure. Because I had come across what is it? Taltos first, actually. Okay. Sure. And read that. And then I watched the Queen of the Damned movie and was like, hey, I'll read the books. Yes, and that's how I got into it, but mine was with Interview with the Vampire because I'm that old. Slightly different generations, but probably very about the same age. Yes. Yes. About 13-ish? Yeah. And then there's all the graphic novels and comic books that were out. I think at the same time Interview with the Vampire came out, I became familiar with the graphic novel of the Vampire Lestat that had been done. And then there was a whole comic book series of Queen of the Damned and then Tale of the Body Thief. Oh, nice. Yeah. So they're out there if you wanted to find. And that unfortunately is what I have to wrap up today's show with. Yes, wait, everyone, enjoy our I feel like we circle back around to Anne Rice a lot. Eventually, but I only bring it up when there's actual news. It's true. I know there's a lot of people out there who remember reading Anne Rice when they were younger too. It's fair. Not just me. Laminate the pages. Obviously. I'm not laminating. Yeah, exactly. Well, happy Thursday to everybody. I know it's raining and cloudy and blech here in Georgia, but I hope if you're not in Georgia, you're somewhere else, it's pleasant and you've been having a wonderful week. And I want to thank you again for joining us while we talk and catch up on the stuff we've been able to try and follow in between all of this craziness. And I'm still catching up on sleep. That's okay. But yeah, thank you guys again for joining us. And thank you, Lyssa, for tonight. And tell everyone what else you're doing this week.
So let's see. Later on, I will be playing more Mass Effect Legendary Edition on my Twitch channel. So that's twitch.tv/geekgirllyssa. You can find me anywhere. Wait, there you go. Geek Girl Lyssa. Anywhere with buttons.
Everywhere.
You can find me.
Everywhere there's an at Geek Girl Lyssa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's see, tomorrow I'm actually not doing anything stream wise because I am spending it with Josh because he just had his birthday and that's what he wanted for his birthday present. We're spending some time together in person. Saturday night I will be behind the scenes for Starfleet Tactical, and depending on how I feel after that, I will probably stream some more Mass Effect because I'm going through Legendary Edition trying to finish up all the 3 games in that pack.
Yes.
So Monday you can find me on twitch.tv/nerdworksmedia for Bros and Dragons. That is also a podcast. That the podcast is going to be 3 episodes behind the live stream. Tuesdays, you can find me on twitch.tv/Dead Bard Society. Wednesdays, you can find me on twitch.tv/Druidlocks for the Rupture RPG demo dev game. And Thursdays, you can find me here.
Joining me, helping me.
Yes.
Yes, the professional nerd, the official professional.
Yeah, I am officially a professional nerd, guys.
Yay!
Yeah, as if the Pokemon hoodie wasn't enough.
It wasn't. Yeah, but the kitty cat ears, the Harley Quinn shirt, and the Pokemon wasn't enough to give it away. But yes, Harley Quinn chair.
Yes.
Sorry.
I mean, it's a crop top. I mean, birds of prey.
Yes. Why not?
We'll go with that. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Live long and prosper. And we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.